Shahid Hashmi is on the podcast in just a moment. Shahid Hashmi is a commentator and a big fan of Team Pakistan, cricket commentator, of course. So he loves his team. And I think there's a lot of change going on right now. I've said it by my own admission, I'm still new to the cricket game in many respects. Didn't play it at school, not very good at it. Wouldn't even know what I'm doing with a bat or a ball. But I love watching it. And what I love is the human aspect. What I love is seeing fans in the stadium. What I love is seeing their passion, hearing them talk about the game, and seeing how much it means to people. I'm a commentator. I'm a commentator of life. I'm a narrator of life. That's what I do. I analyze things, and I like watching people love their thing. And here is someone, Shahid, who loves his game, who cares about Team Pakistan, and we can see that the Pakistan cricket team is changing. It's evolving. They've been through this bad patch. And I want to know what that patch was really like for a Pakistan cricket fan like Shahid. And also to kind of see where things are going now. What's in store for the team? What's in store for the whole cricket fraternity in Pakistan? So we celebrate that. We talk about that. He's got a lot of love for Team India. I've got to say that. And of course, we have to talk about food. Food is everything. And I'll tell you, if you're hungry, be careful, because this man's going to describe food in Pakistan. My mouth's salivating even now, and I'm sure yours will be as well. So enjoy the chat with our good friend, Mr. Shahid Hashmi, on the Tommy Sandhu podcast. Shahid Hashmi, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, Tom.
There we go. Good to see you. Good to see you. First and foremost, we're rolling and recording already. So are you? That's how we are. That's how we start. Is that okay? It's like a rolling. There's no need for a toss. Yeah. There's no need to check the pitch conditions. There's no need to check which way the wind's blowing. This pitch is ready 24/7.
Great to hear that.
Are you good? And are you padded up? You're padded up and ready for conversation?
I am always padded up with a bat and T20 style.
Nice. See, well, actually, let's just start with that then, Shahid. I mean, come on. There is cricket coming out of every hole right now. Everywhere you look, there is cricket going on. It's a great time to be a part of the game, right?
Of course, you love the game. It's your passion and it's your job as well. So it's a double joy for me always. I've been doing this for the last 30 years. Although I'm a electrical engineer by qualification, but my current and my electricity shifted to cricket.
Okay, well, see, there you go. There must be a connection there. The electricity of currents and what you do in your career to now the electricity generated in a match, in an exciting game. It's a similar kind of Bijli related love, right?
It is. Of course, you need current, you need electricity, you need that passion to play cricket and to follow cricket and to cover it for international news agencies like AFP, like BBC, like Australia Radio. So I've done a lot, and I still feel the current going on 1000 kVs.
Well, on that note, the Pakistan team, I got to say, are electric right now. A brilliant performance. They won over the whole of the world, I think, and showed really what Pakistan cricket can be about, is about. How proud are you to see the display from Pakistan at the T20 in Dubai?
It was amazing. It was quite unexpected because we used to think that Pakistan team is building up, but the way they played unitedly, the impact Matthew Hadden had on Pakistan cricket team, the aggression, the unity, the flamboyance, everything was perfect. They won 5 matches. We weren't expecting Pakistan to beat India because 12 matches had gone since 1992. No World Cup win, no T20 World Cup win. But in Dubai on 24th of October, they surprised everyone. The kind of victory, one-sided affair against a powerful Indian side. So that set the tone for Pakistan. That set the platform for Pakistan. And they went on to win 5 games in a row, and they were quite unlucky. Unfortunately, they lost the game against Australia, although they had Australia by the scruff of the neck, and they were very close to winning that game as well. But for Matthew Hayden and Marcus Stoinis, they had a very brilliant six-wicket partnership. A few mistakes by Babar Azam, and Pakistan lost that semi-final. But overall, it was a wonderful performance and showed that Pakistan has that current, has that spark to go places.
Why? Why do you think that spark worked at that time? What is it? I'm always interested in the mindset. I know we can always get kind of a focus on stats and the individual player and the player on the day and pitch conditions and things like that. More so, I like to kind of explore, the heart behind the team or the kind of what was currently going on inside Team Pakistan for them to be able to pull that display off and surprise everybody in the way they did. Why do you think that happened?
You had to go to 1 month back, 17 September, on just an hour before the one-day international. New Zealand abandoned the tour. Then England ditched Pakistan, withdrew both its men's and women's team for no purpose and rhymes, no reasons, solid reasons. They said that mental health and physical health. So Pakistan were wounded. If you remember, Pakistan won the 1992 World Cup on the theme of cornered tigers. They were cornered by the world at that time as well, and Pakistan were wounded after New Zealand abandoned the tour. England withdrew its men's and women's teams. So Pakistan were wounded, and elected chairman of the Pakistan Cricket Board, Ramiz Raja, had urged the team and the players to show their talent and to show the world that they belong to international cricket and they cannot be abandoned like New Zealand did, like England did. So they were committed to the cause, and they were really there to prove a point to international cricket fraternity that yes, we are a world-class team, we are a good T20 team, and they proved it. They should have won the semi-final and then the final, but at least 5 straight games, and the kind of display that they had, a wonderful display of cricket. It showed the world that Pakistan belong. Pakistan will be number 2 or number 1 in T20 rankings, and they'll have to prove that in 2 other formats as well. They are doing it in Bangladesh. They will do it against Australia come March and February, April, when Australia is going to tour Pakistan. So Pakistan have realized that if you are one of the top teams in the ranking in all 3 formats, the world cannot abandon you.
Yeah. Does that feel fair? Does it feel fair that for the best of Pakistan to be put on display, they've had to go through, like you say, 2 rejections in a way, people turning down tours? That if I was, I don't know. I feel like the world there's many injustices in the world, and again, for many cultural reasons, political reasons, board level reasons, it doesn't feel fair. It doesn't feel fair on Pakistani players, Pakistani fans, that okay, they've had to pull this performance out despite everything else. That's a credit to Pakistan for doing it, but I feel like it shouldn't be this way.
It has happened to Pakistan. They were made like pariahs of cricket, international cricket. Since 2009 attacks on the Sri Lankan teams, there were too many occasions when teams could have traveled to Pakistan. England came in 2005, despite a lot of problems, the 9/11 and the ensuing war on terrorism in and around Pakistan. South Africa came in 2007. India came in 2006, 2008 for the Asia Cup. But since 2009 attacks, Pakistan were left isolated, and there were some unfair decisions made on the part of World Cricket, on the part of International Cricket Council. Pakistan was supposed to host a few matches of the 2011 World Cup. They were not given to Pakistan. At that time, security situation had improved. 2009 were 2 years ago, and 2011 World Cup matches were taken away from Pakistan. That was a huge injustice to Pakistan. So Pakistan cricket community, Pakistan cricket fans and Pakistan cricket players and Pakistan cricket board needed to be wounded to reply to the world and show that they also belong to international cricket fraternity.
Yeah. And it's nice to know that they've got that in them, because a team can go 2 ways. When you've had, like I say, so many injustices or unfair treatment, or even if you want to call it, the team were at the receiving end of all the other stuff that was going on. Of course, there were some atrocious attacks and all those things have happened, but that doesn't affect. That's no link to the players. That's no link to the guy training in the nets, working on his strokes. There's no impact there's no direct correlation between terror and terrorism or whatever, and the guy training to be a cricket player. So I feel like the fact that they, despite all of that, can rise up and show their quality at this level, where, let's face it, the whole world is watching and all the expectations are on. That must now fill you with a sense of pride and optimism now going forward.
It is coming up. It is the old, the sordid memories, the bitter memories are now erasing. If you remember Pakistan, some of the top Pakistan players like Asad Ali, Asad Shafiq, Babar Azam had not played a test match in their country for 10 years. They started their careers soon after the 2009 attacks on the Sri Lankan team. They were playing like nomads of international cricket, playing their neutral games in Sri Lanka, played their neutral games in UAE, played their neutral series against Australia in 2010 in England. So they were like made nomads of international cricket. And above all, the younger generation, those who were born in 2000, those who were born in this century, were deprived of watching their international stars, their home stars, their international stars before their eyes, before on their home ground. So it was a great loss. The generation that was born after 2000 had not seen Pakistan play for 10 years. So that was a big loss, because until and unless kids watch their own stars on their home ground, they do not get inspired and take up the game. So in this 10 years, 2000 to 2010, even my sons started playing video games rather than going to field and play cricket or hockey or squash. So that was a big loss, but those memories are now erasing fast. We are waiting for Australia to come. They had not toured Pakistan since 1998. It would be a great occasion. Kids watching Pat Cummins, Stephen Smith, Mitchell Starc playing before their own eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So on that note, do things feel notably different now for Pakistan fans, Pakistan players, Pakistan kind of fraternity of cricket people? It has this one tournament been a key element in just turning the tide, turning the flow of how things are for Team Pakistan?
It is, of course. Interest has increased manifold. Previously, when 2008 West Indies team came to play 3 T20 internationals in Karachi, there were no demands of free passes. And now 1 week to go for the first T20 international, and people are calling every minute to ask for passes. The kids want to go to the stadium to watch West Indies team coming here. They were twice world champions of T20 World Cup. So they are very anxious. They want to see cricket matches in Karachi National Stadium, which has hosted West Indies in 2018. So interest has increased manifold. As you say, there is an old proverb, old adage that victory has many fathers and a defeat is like an orphan. So when your team is doing well, when your team is in the top 3 of all the formats, definitely the interest will increase, and more kids will come and not only watch but take up the game and be a future Pakistan player.
Yeah, man. Where are you? Where are you right now in the world? Are you in Pakistan?
I am in Karachi, my city, since my birth. I love Karachi. It's a very vibrant city, although over the last 12, 13 years, we do not have a proper government, provincial government. We see potholes. It's very difficult to travel in Karachi because of the dilapidated roads. But hopefully, Imran Khan is doing a lot of good work. He will definitely turn his attention towards Sindh, of which Karachi is the capital.
Oh man! And aside from dilapidated roads, life in Karachi, the spirit of the people. What's it like as a city? I don't know too much about it. Like when I think of London versus Manchester, there's a different kind of feeling. Birmingham versus Leeds, it's a different kind of feeling. I can analyze that because this is my home. Tell me about Karachi, because what are the people like?
It's a very vibrant city, very buzzing. You can have food at 3 a.m. in the morning. You can have food at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's 24 hours. Some of the hotels don't even close. They don't have a shutter to put down. So they work 24 hours with different staffs, of course. Food is fantastic. If you come to Karachi, you can't go without eating a biryani, without eating a anda chole, without eating kadhai, chicken kadhai. So it's very close to the atmosphere that we have in Manchester. Manchester is closer to Karachi rather than London. It's a very vibrant city, and people are very good, hospitable, very kind. Although at times you fear going one or two parts of Karachi because there is a lot of mugging, but things are improving, and definitely it will come back to it is called City of Lights in books, not only in books, but it has proved to be a city of lights.
I think any major city, though, anywhere you go, Manchester, London, New York, Paris, Rome. I'm looking into going to Italy in the new year for a weekend, and it says on the websites, be careful of muggings, be careful of pickpockets. Just be smart. I think whenever you get a major city, so I'm going to leap to the defense there and say, that just goes with major cities. We can't control everybody, but I love the fact that you focused on food straight away. I could talk about food all day long, and the one thing I know is actually when you look at great food and great even desi khana here in the UK, the best is made by Pakistanis. I mean, flavorsome. The Pakistani connection, there must be something in the blood with food. Pakistanis love doing food and doing food well. Do you know what I mean? It's not like no one does a quick, that'll do, bit of cheese on toast. No. It's everyone, I know even Pakistani men, uncles, friends of mine, my friends' parents, the men take their time with cooking. Where does that come from? Where's that love born from?
It is in the heredity. It is we owe it to our inheritance. Our forefathers used to love food. There were times when people suffered high blood pressure, high cholesterol, but they don't like to leave any food because they still have a tablet or two, but we can't avoid a spicy food, we can't avoid a oily food, we can't avoid a biryani. So it's in the nature of the beast. In the nature of the human beings who live in Karachi, and it's transferred from. It is common in the subcontinent, India and Pakistan. But Pakistan is blessed with the number of foods, number of fruits. The best fruits in the world are in Pakistan. You talk about mangoes, you talk about guavas, you talk about any food in the world, and you will find it in Pakistan. Oranges. This is a season of oranges and kinnus. It's in abundance. It's a rich country in flavor, in spices, in food, in fruits, and above all, hospitality. If you go and ask a fruit shopper that I've come from Manchester, he will not charge you a penny. He'll say that take 4 or 5 bananas, take 4 or 5 oranges from my side, even though he will be short on money, but he will never leave the traditions of hospitality.
I've noticed that, right? So obviously I was in Dubai for the month and there was a lot of drivers that are Indian and Pakistani. Every Pakistani driver that I met, it was always great because I could speak Punjabi, right? So I'm Indian Punjabi, but my dad was born in Lahore. My mum was from Batinda, Punjab, but it's a Punjabi thing. And the pride with the nation, the pride, not only, and actually probably less so with the cricket. It was more about the food, the culture, the warmth, the fact that you'll be welcomed open arms. And what I find interesting is I'm in this dual world. I'm in this world where we're here in the UK and we're all foreign to the Brits in some way. People ask me all the time, where are you from? And by that they mean, why are you brown? I'm from East London. I always have been, born and raised, but they want to know. But yet with Pakistan, when you talk to them, there's a pride of where they're from. They want you to know that Pakistan is great, that the image that you may have, the things that you may have heard, the negativity that you may have heard about the nation is untrue. And everyone's a tour guide. Everyone's like, hey, come to my city. You come to my city, I'll show you this. I can show you that. You'll be met like this. I know people. That pride, you can't teach that. They're not being told to do that. That's just the love that people have for their land.
It is in the nature, it is in the religion. The religion tells you not to hurt anyone from your tongue and from your hand. It is the basic teaching of Islam. And they say that Pakistanis do not have normal hearts, they have bigger hearts.
You can see that, and we've been in numerous restaurants, even in Dubai, where it was Pakistani-run restaurants, and when they found out we were Punjabi, they're like, "Don't pay for the food." Obviously, we did, because for us, actually, the food is a lot cheaper than it would be even here in London. But it was like that big-hearted nature. I think the world needs to know about that. And you're right. I mean, let's face it. Let's just go by the alone, the mangoes alone. We know the best mangoes come from Pakistan. It's like there's just something special in Pakistan when it comes to fruit, where it is just tastier, more fresher, more sweeter, more delicious. So I love that, and I love the fact that you share that passion with your food as well in the land. What about you as a commentator, though? Right? You as a commentator on the game. Is this a tricky time to be a commentator? As we're hearing, it's so hard to pass comment about gameplay, the climate of play, and everyone's so accountable. Do you ever feel nervous about the things that you're going to say about a team or a player? I've lost you. Okay, let's just see if we can.
Sorry, I
it's
lost
okay.
You. No.
Can you hear me, sir? No, it's all right.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I was just saying. Do you ever feel nervous as a commentator now with the climate of what's going on and the things you're going to say about someone or a team? These are tricky times for commentators. Does that make you nervous?
No, never, because I've been commentating, not only commentating, but writing for an international news agencies where you are taught that no one is your team. If you bring sentiments in your copy, in your match report, then you are gone. So I am sentimental at times when Pakistan loses badly or win a spectacular match like against India in Dubai on October 24. Sentiments do come, but I have to raise them quickly. And when I write my copy, I do not mingle all those sentiments in my copy. But of course, being a Pakistani, being someone who follows cricket passionately, definitely emotions do come. But at times I have to overcome those emotions.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And I get that. I think on that note, do you think any commentator can truly be, if you love the game, can you truly be impartial? Can you truly be, without bias or without some kind of preconceptions on a team or expectations on an outcome? Surely it's impossible to detach those emotions from your commentary.
It is. I won't say it's impossible, but it should be avoided at times. Yes, when you are commentating, when you are writing a report, you should be unbiased. But emotions do come. It is difficult to overcome those emotions. But as a professional, as someone who's still learning, I avoid all these emotions.
Well done. And talking about avoidance, I'm looking at you as well. I thought your skin looks great. The mustache looks beautiful. Look at that. It's a beautiful mustache right now I'm looking at. How do you avoid all the temptations of all the food? Like you just told me about the biryanis and the kadai chickens and all this stuff. Are you quite disciplined yourself? Are you quite like, no, I'm on camera, I'm a reporter. I have to say no to those nice, and you must get offered them all the time, those nice little delicacies.
I have learned to be disciplined because when you cross 50, I am 55. I walk early in the morning. I wake up at 5 o'clock. I pray and then I go for a 1 hour walk. I run and I take care of myself, my diet, the food. Always I take with caution. Recently, 2 years ago, I developed slight blood pressure. So now it's always 120/80 because of the food, because of the walk. And I take special care of my body. Yesterday, I went for checks, cholesterol limits perfect, blood pressure perfect, ECG perfect. So I go for medical test every 6-8 months. I walk, I take special care. Yes, the temptation is always there. My wife cooks brilliant biryani, brilliant kadhai, but I take less spices, and my food is at times different. When I go to my sustral, like my in-laws, they are very high on spices, always very high on spices. So they cook a separate dish for me. So I take special care of my diet, my health, because I have seen people collapsing at 39, at 40, at 45. So if you want a longer life, you need to be disciplined in your life.
But I didn't think spices were bad. I'm sorry. Now I'm getting dietary advice from you. I didn't think we were talking about this, but I like the way this conversation is going. So, but I thought spices. Okay, when you buy spices, do you mean like mirch? Do you mean like actually like hari mirch, or are you talking about spices like your, your masala and your cumin and your jeera, that all that those kind of spice? What when you say spice is high, what level? You mean heat or flavor?
Spice is spice mostly the red mirchi plus the oil and things like butter, things like cheese. You don't go high on those things because they add up to your cholesterol limits. So I take special care, and when I walk, it gets over. I mean, I overcome all those difficulties like the spices and everything. So I'm very cautious about food. But yes, of course, when at times we have dinners, we go out with friends, we do break the law
Indulge.
and break the discipline.
Yeah. What's your weakness? What's your weakness, sir? Like what? When, if that was being served up, what can you not say no to? What are you going to look at and go, okay, look, and I'll walk it off tomorrow. I'll deal with it later. But what can you not turn down? Look, you licked your lips, so you're thinking about something.
Sweet. I'm a sweet tooth guy. Every time I eat something, I have to end up on sweet, like barfi, like kheer, like firni, like gulab jamun, like laddu. My fridge is always full of sweets. Dates are common, chocolates are common, but definitely with discipline.
Oh man, good on you. And obviously now you think about it, cricket players as well. Their diets aren't going to be desi kana. Everything now is so measured, so professional. There's so many more people involved in the game. The money in the sport has gone through the roof as well. So all these players, they're not going to be indulging in any of this kind of stuff. How serious is the modern game compared to say what it was even 10, 15 years ago?
It's limitless now. It's full. I think it's the players are following a diet with just they like follow a religion. It's very difficult for them to go out and eat what they want. The dietitian is always with them. The conditioning instructor is with them, so they check everything what they are eating. They do have off days when they are not playing, when they do not have a series. So they go home, and when they come back, they are unfit. At times, we have a lot of examples like Umar Akmal, like Kamran Akmal. They used to go back home, and when they come, they are hugely unfit. Once Umar Akmal was sent back from Pakistan, from England before the Champions Trophy, it was a big loss. But at the end, it was a correct decision. It was proved. Mickey Arthur was vindicated that Umar Akmal was not fit. So modern day players are very cautious because they lose on money if they are unfit. They lose on a contract from a lucrative league, from a lucrative series they are going to play, from a lucrative tour they are going to have. So they are very cautious about the food. In the last 2 3 years, Pakistani players have also been disciplined on diets. And there is one example, which is a huge example. Virat Kohli of India, in the last 7 8 years, he's gone veg. The diet he takes is a role model for all the players, all the modern day players, and other players also follow suit. So it has become mandatory for all the current players.
Uh, and on that note, do you think the toughest times for Team Pakistan, is over? That this period that we've seen over the last say decade or so, just over. Not missing out on tournaments, missing out on competitions, or on their involvement on the world stage. Is that done now? Are we done? Have we got a good future for Team Pakistan, or is there still some work that needs to be done?
I think it's still work in progress. They are going towards that aim. They are going towards that objective of attaining top three rankings in the world in all three formats. And once you've done that, the process is almost complete. Then you have to sustain that level. The new generation will only come when they see that Pakistan is doing at international level. They are getting success in international matches, and then they follow all their players. Once the team has done that, they will definitely come and play cricket. They will definitely adopt cricket as a profession. We have a cricketer, former Pakistan captain, as the chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board, whose objective is very clear. He wants to invest money on cricket and cricketers, not on officials, not on huge salaries in the Pakistan Cricket Board, which had been the norm in the past 10, 12 years. Now he's investing money on cricketers. He's increased salaries of the first class cricketers, which is a good thing. More and more players will now adopt cricket as profession. So I think it's still work in progress, but definitely the destination is not far.
Okay, that's good to hear. Okay, just before I let you go, then, if Pakistan cricket has turned the corner and is looking a bit more optimistic, in your opinion, I'm a Team India fan. Okay, I was there with the Bharat Army. I was cheering them all on. I was excited about being for my first tournament and covering the entire tournament in Dubai. I was there for the whole month, super excited, and I witnessed a Team India that wasn't the Team India I signed up to see. But again, from your professional analysis, what happened there? Why was it a poor India, a weaker India than what we know on paper, stats wise, what the players could have delivered? And people blame the pitch. And so I'm going to get my opinion in first, and then you can tell me whether I'm right. So everyone says, "Oh, it's the track, and you got to know Dubai and Dubai's." And I'm like, "Well, you've been playing T20, you've been playing IPL on that same track. You know it. All the players know it." And they said, could it be fatigue? So fatigue is one reason that a lot of people keep saying. But do you buy that, or is there more to it than that?
Before answering that, I'll accept that I am one of the huge fans of Indian cricket. The way they have topped international charts in the last 4 or 5 years. I'm a great fan of Virat Kohli. Not only his playing standards, but the way he speaks about the game, but his knowledge of the game. So I'm a huge fan of Indian cricket as well. My second favorite team is always India. I was also surprised by the way they played the first two games. It was a totally one-sided defeat against Pakistan as well as New Zealand. But of course, the rescheduling of the IPL hurt India badly. They were fatigued. They were in the bubble for the last 6-7 months. They had a big challenging tour of England before that. And had the IPL not being rescheduled from May to September, in the heat they played the later part of IPL, India would have done better. India not doing well in international tournament is a big loss for international cricket, because most of the sponsors come from India, and people want to watch India. Even the Indian team has a lot of fans in Pakistan. A good India is always what we want in international cricket. But yes, of course, they were jaded. They were fatigued. They were mentally and physically, I think, collapsing during the T20 World Cup, because they were on the road for the last 6-7 months.
Right. Yeah, so it's justifiable. So, okay. So then finally, just looking forward, March, like you said, Australia coming to Pakistan next year. What's going to happen? What's going to happen in March? Let's get an early prediction this side of 2022 starting. When Australia do tour Pakistan in March, how's it going to go?
They will do well in white ball cricket, but red ball cricket will be ours. Spinners will bamboozle Australia like they did in 2014 in UAE. Yasir Shah, Zulfiqar Babar. We now have 3-4 quality spinners, one left arm spinner, one off spinner, and Yasir Shah, of course, will be back. He's missed Bangladesh tour because of fitness problems. So Australia definitely will have tough times in Test cricket. But white ball cricket, it will be a very close contest between the two teams.
Love it. Look forward to it. Listen, and it's great to have you on. It's great to hear your side of it. And also, my mouth is salivating at the thought of Karai chicken in Karachi. So if I come for no cricket, I'll come just for the chicken. I'm telling you, that's enough for me.
Come, and be my guest. Stay with me at my home. I have 4 sons of different qualities. One engineer, one getting to doctor. All love cricket,
wow.
all watch cricket, all read cricket. Third one is going to be a chartered accountant, inshallah, and he wants to play English Premier Football League. He's a good footballer. He's in the college team. And my message to the world is one song from Indian film, and that is. सांसों से नहीं कदमों से नहीं मोहब्बत से चलती है दुनिया दौलत से नहीं ताकत से नहीं मोहब्बत से चलती है दुनिया दुनिया. So love for all is my message to the world.
I love that. And just let me just translate. The lyrics say, they said, the world doesn't run on strength. The world doesn't run on money. The world runs on love. And on that lovely moment, I wish you well. Have a great Christmas. Have a great festive period. And I'll catch up with you in the new year. Thank you so much, sir. Have a good one, sir. All right.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I heard, genuinely, this is just as a fact, I heard that if you hit subscribe to this podcast now, if you have subscribed on Apple or on Spotify or on JioSaavn or wherever you are listening right now, if you are subscribing and getting that on a regular, which means you get the little notification when the new episode comes out. Fact. This is a fact. Don't tell no one else's. If you hit subscribe, you can eat as many jalebis as you want and you will never put on weight. I know. I don't understand the logic. It makes no sense to me. I mean, how's a podcast relate to the DNA way in which your body breaks down jalebi sugar stuff running through your cell? I don't understand, but what I do know, it's a little cheat to life. So if you like jalebis, then you should hit subscribe to this podcast. Oh, and follow us on social media too. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow us, eat jalebis, be happy.